fellow Magic players. This is another game in our playgroup, this time between BerserkAtog on the left and the deck, as we all know it, on the right. And BerserkAtog seems to start out with a London Mulligan here. The guy on the left is Jens Ole, who usually plays the Nyasu in our playgroup, but he has mixed things up a bit here. Starting out with a factory and a rock sapphire. Okay, second round into a sushi, very early drop. And the deck starts out with producing some more mana, and here's a second sushi. So a lot of early pressure on the deck this time. That is an altered island. The pilot of the deck on the right is Simon.
And he has been playing for a very, very long time with the same deck. Always some new twists and tweaks, but generally he has played the deck in various iterations for as long as he has played old school.
And his deck is a very old one. He has much of it is altered in a Call of Cthulhu theme, like that balance he plays there on the island that he sacrifices. So it can be a bit hard to see which is which, but it's a brilliant deck. Anyway, he plays the balance and really setting the BerserkAtog back, and the BerserkAtog has still has a factory to punch with, but that was a big loss. And here's a disenchant, also altered. Simon has a tendency to send in his cards to various artists and ask them to alter his cards in this Cthulhu theme. So this deck is very personalized in this way. Plays a regrowth and mind twists the rest of Jens Ole's hand. So now the deck is in control, it seems. Here's the dreaded book. Okay, but there's another factory from Jens Ole and a defending factory from Simon. Jens Ole also drew a Library of Alexandria straight after getting mind twisted. So that was not the best draw. He seems to be trying to save up for the Library of Alexandria to come into its range. But against two factories, he chooses to put down the Atog. So at this point, the deck is just starting to accumulate a lot of card advantage and securing its big mana base. And here comes the Nabbas. And the Atog falls straight into it. At least as far as I can see, there's a lot of artifact creatures in the BerserkAtog deck, so they should be fine against the Abyss. But now there's a third factory in it. It's getting pumped twice, and Jens Ole can't block it and trade anymore with a single factory. He needs another factory. As Simon can attack with, there's a fourth factory, so now he can pop a single factory into a 5/5. And he attacks with 3, knowing that he can pump them to 3/3, so even if Jens Ole attacks, it's a straight up trade. And not even that, because, okay, he tries to disenchant the factory, and Jens Ole plays an Avoid Fate. That's pretty cheeky. And Avoid Fate is a green instant that counters instants and sorceries. But the deck has all the cards it needs, so So he follows up with the second disenchant. So that's game right there. The deck wins round 1, taking early control of the board state. I believe the turning point in that game was that early balance. The BerserkAtog lost too many cards there, and then the follow-up with the Yimday Tome and the Mind Twist just made the deck secure its absolute control of that game right there. So second round, second match, and the BerserkAtog is on the play. And he has mulliganed again, it seems. Okay, starting out with the Factory Amok and turn 1 Ank of Mishra. That's actually a very nice card against the deck, because the BerserkAtog probably needs to try and burden down early. But Simon has a lot of artifact mana here. So he plays the Factory. He's probably reluctant to attack with it because he can't counter without any blue mana sources, and he can't risk losing that Factory to a bolt. Okay, so here comes the Sushi. And the deck actually seems a bit mana screwed here. He has no white mana, no blue mana. And that's his... that's the skeleton of his deck, those colors. But there's a black white, so we have like a very, very early combo. I remember back in '94, many people played this with Ank of Mishra black white combo. Very nasty when it sets in. So the deck at this moment takes damage for having cards in hand, and he takes further damage if he tries to drop lands. There's a Sushi art attacking, killing the Factory, and Jens Ole just starts bolting him now. Sushi comes for another swing, but gets Swords to Plowshare. Can't see it, but that artwork of the Swords to Plowshares is the guy tending the field is getting eaten by the god of Cthulhu. So the deck seems to be trying to etching back into the game, disenchanting the black wise in order to stop the horrendous damage he's taken from it. But he needs to do something with that Ank of Mishra as well. He drew into a Time Twister there. That's probably pretty dangerous, and that's an altered mode. It's very dangerous for him with only 7 lives left to use that Time Twister, because he's against the burn deck. And the BerserkAtog would probably be able to just Lightning Bolt and Fireball him down if he gives him a new hand. The deck is now at 5 life because he played that Underground Sea, but at least he can counter now. He needs some way to... Probably he needs to get a book out soon in order to get enough cards in so that he can draw into counter spells and secure his position. He's at 5 life. So there's the Disenchant and the Ank of Mishra. That was pretty key. Now he can get his lands down. So an attacking Factory gets blocked by a defending Factory, and there's another attacking Factory that just come out now when the Ank is gone. Both players just solidifying their mana base. Still no book for the deck yet. City of Brass, that won't be of much use to him, probably. Okay, there's another Ank of Mishra. But he probably has enough lands now, the deck. Should probably save his counterspells for the inevitable Fireball or Lightning Bolts that's bound to be coming his way soon. Or Blackwise, he needs to save his disenchants and counterspells for that. There's an Atog. And he can actually, with one attack, he can actually kill the deck at this point. So he gets immediately Swords to Plowshare. Still, it's worth noting that the deck was never really in any real peril at this point because there's that moat down there. So it also keeps the factories back on both sides. There's the book. Okay, this is very touch and go. If the deck can edge out a victory here. Another Atog. Again, if that Atog just gets in unblocked once, he can just eat up enough artifacts just to kill Simon in one go. There's a sushi to back it up. And a Chaos Orb, okay. And that's immediately countered. That was a counter spell, heavily altered to a Call of Cthulhu card as well, and the Swords to Plowshares on the Atog. And countering that Chaos Orb was pretty key because he could have used it on the moat, and then the deck would have been a lot more vulnerable unless he had a disenchant. But the deck needs to draw into a lot of cards now because he used a lot of resources to defend himself there. And just a single fireball can just kill him. And with that Ank out, it's very hard for Simon to get more mana sources out. Didn't see what there was, a lot of glare there. Didn't see what it was. He takes a card instead. Trying to figure out a way to get into the game. Probably it would be very nice if you could draw into a recall or something like that in order to get his removal spells back and his counter spell back. I imagine he has a lot of mana in his hand. And that Time Twister does him no good. But he plays it. Okay, that surprises me. I think that's a very, very dangerous play in this setup. Knowing the blue-red shell of the BerserkAtog, it's only a green splash. Insole can draw into a lot of lightning bolts and black wises and stuff here. And the deck only has 5 life. Okay, so let's see what happens here. What Insole can make happen. It's a strip mine. He can actually strip a factory now, but he elects to strip mine a counterspell. That's a blue mana. That's also very valid. He plays an ancestral recall and gets bolted straight out. So tries to draw a card with the book. But nothing can save him there. That's it. I really believe that that Time Twister was a misplay. I have nowhere near the experience as Simon has of playing the deck, but I think that play was very dangerous. But we don't know what hand he had, so we can't know for sure, I suppose. So it's 1-1 between these decks, and this is the 3rd round and the deciding match of this set between BerserkAtog and the deck. I think that turn 1 Ank of Mishra was probably, and then followed up by a Black Wise, was probably what did the deck in. And the final nail in the coffin was the Time Twister. But the deck starts out now, the Mox and the Filbar Stone, so trying to secure its mana base as early as possible here. And here's the Black Wise, but it's not nearly as good when you're on the draw. There's a book. Turn 2. And then Atog. Not much to feed it with yet. So now the deck is aiming for stabilizing the board. Okay, so he elects just to fireball it and doing it with sufficient mana so that BerserkAtog can't save it by sacrificing artifacts to it. Yeah, that's 4 damage right now. Okay, but yeah, sorry about that. He could make it survive by sacrificing both artifacts. So at least he lost tempo by losing the Mox, and Simon doesn't have to tackle that Black Wise. But there's another Black Wise. Into the attacks and time walks. And attacks again. So just doing these few bits of damage. There's a Chaos Orb. Just to get rid of the Atog. Simon probably thinks that it's too dangerous to keep on the board at this point. However, tapping his blue mana for it, so that means that he can't count at this point. He tries to block the attacking factory, and his own Simon's factory gets bolted. So it takes a bit more damage. Now it's 16 life. Trying to sit back and play defensively and draw some more cards from the book, I imagine. And the factory attacks, but there's a source to plowshares. So now there's some calm for the deck to try and get some card advantage going here, and trying to get more mana sources. And now he brain geyses. and BerserkAtog just bolts him. Because now he can get in as the blue mana is tapped out. Continuing to draw with the book. Now starting to take damage from that Black Wise. Can be a rather mean card against the deck, actually. That just thrives on drawing a lot of cards. And I think that's the 3rd lightning bolt right there, or the 4th. Just firing away at Simon. And now there's a discharge on the Black Wise, so the deck actually has a pretty secure position at this point, hiding behind that moat and just reading books like mad. And that's another JB tome. Just a failsafe, presumably, in case Insoli plays a shatter on the first one. Okay, there's a mana drain on the sushi. I presume that's in order to get some more mana, actually, because just to draw some books, draw from the book, or to play a book. That's the third book, because it wasn't really that dangerous of a creature as long as the mode is out, and with the colors the BerserkAtog plays, it's pretty difficult for him to remove an enchantment like a mode. Okay, there's a library. A green library with tentacles, just like the mode. Okay, the deck just keeps on piling on the card advantage at this point. And soon he'll get in range of Library of Alexandria, and then it'll go really fast. There's a fireball for 3. Now there's probably a wheel. Yep, the mana was pretty. It was untapped like that. Okay, so this is actually a turnaround again. I mean, this could be until is out. There's a full hand. Throwing down a factory and a Mox and a new Ankh of Mithra. So at least the deck is within Library of Alexandria range at this point, but never underestimate the strength of blue-red deck when he has a new hand. There's a lot of firepower there. But then Simon drew a card and then countered the Ankh of Mithra. I hope for him he has more counterspells on that. And drawing out a lot of artifact mana. With a Felwar Stone and a Sol Ring. You need that mana in order to make those books work. But you also need to have a lot of defenses untapped, like disenchants and counterspells. Because there could be a lot of damage soon. But still, he's at 9 life. It's not horrible. And most of the bolts have already been used by BerserkAtog. And he plays a book and then a Wrath of God. Oh, okay, and then he balances. That's pretty clever. This is just in order to empty his own hand, so that he can balance and remove BerserkAtog's hand as well. And this might seem odd when you have an active Library of Alexandria, but the deck can get within that lower range so fast with 4 books out. I mean, he probably doesn't have more mana. Yeah, he has enough mana from 2 books each turn, but still, that's like an ancestral recall. He'll soon be within Library of Alexandria range again. There's a Chaos Orb. Interesting. I want to get to the moat, probably. Yep, and now he can attack with the factories, actually. So that was pretty nasty. Here they come. 5 life left. So this is okay. There's 2 defending factories, and the BerserkAtog is almost without a hand. And now the deck has to work fast. He has to read like his exam was tomorrow. And another book tapped. Needs to draw those answers. It really hangs in the balance at this point. There's a regrowth. Oh. There's a fireball in that graveyard. He could use that, but I wonder if Simon has a counterspell. Yep, there it goes. So draws from the book and no counterspells. That's game. almost felt like the BerserkAtog just stole that game in the last second. Good show. So the BerserkAtog actually won 2-1 against the deck. That's a pretty big achievement, but I suppose the archetype has it has an okay matchup against the deck simply because it has those 4 Black Wises and 4 Angus of Mithra in the main deck, and his artifact creatures aren't that susceptible to the Abyss. But it also has some trouble with removing enchantments, sort of like my own deck has. So it seemed to have a lot of trouble with removing the mode especially. But it snatched the victory here, 2-1, and it was some pretty close games. And yeah, I suppose it's my turn to try my luck against Simon's the deck, and I'll be posting those games shortly. Thank you for watching.